guys, in this post, I will be talking. This should be like a motivation to people who are probably struggling and thinking about what to do with their lives or if their lives will ever change. So, this is Chichi. She actually got inspired by Cardi B, and when life became so tough for her, she became an exotic dancer, which she did for some time until she participated of the reality show called Big Brother Nigeria, where that reality show kind of changed her life. After she left the show, that was when she said goodbye to being an exotic dancer. So let's take a look at what this girl looked like before her journey as an exotic dancer and the moment she shared her story of how Cardi B inspired her. So this is exactly what she looked like back in the days when she was in a town known as Benin City, somewhere in Edo State. She was struggling. She was orphaned really early at a really tender age, and she was an only child, or rather, she's an only child. She, her uncle, her auntie adopted her, but then she was, you know molested by her uncle, who is her auntie's husband, and her auntie never believed her when she shared her experience. So, out of anger and all that, she also worked as a house help in so many homes. Like, even at a very tender age, she learned to hustle, to struggle, to make ends meet because she had nobody to provide for her until she met the person who introduced her to exotic dancing, and she said she is forever indebted and grateful for that man. So recently, where she worked before, I think it's known as Secret Place, invited her over, to come and be entertained. This time she went there not as a dancer, but she went there to be entertained. And the girls, danced with her. They had a great time. And once upon a time, she also visited an exotic club where I overheard her telling some of the girls, you're not going to do this forever, right? Keep grinding. And, she's often moved, just like Cardi B too. Cardi B visits the country, and most times she asks them to take her to an exotic club for her to see the ladies. So I pretty much think, like this Chichi will always say, she doesn't have regrets ever being an exotic dancer because it practically changed her life. Life would probably have been tougher for her, or maybe she would have died of one infection or the other because life was really tough. But being an exotic dancer, in her words, saved her life. So let's hear what Chichi has to say about her life as an exotic dancer and the role Cardi B played.
My voice is gone because I was all night and then before, and I just woke up to see that my fave Cardi B has commented on my tweet. Girl is just that. She has really inspired my life. She has really tried to change my life without even knowing it. She has touched my life. Cardi B is someone that made me realize that I can be whoever I want to be in life. And those of you commenting other things, let me tell you guys, I will never regret ever being a stripper, and I will never deny the fact that I used to be a stripper. Like, why would I deny something that took me out of the slums, put food on my table, clothed me, put shelter over my head when no one was there for me? My darling, I have no regrets whatsoever. In fact, if I had the opportunity to do it over and over again, then I will. If I was given another option, I will, because I know what stripping did for me. Many of you cannot. So thank you for the love, for the ones that have shown me love, that cheered me up, that's always cheering and supporting me. Your love is not taken for granted. I love you guys so much. Imagine going to the club where you used to be an entertainer, like where I used to dance as a stripper before, but this time around being entertained.
Chichi, y'all could have been on that Jimmy.
Guys, spread that money. And it's so overwhelming. The feeling is so emotional. Like, I couldn't hold back the tears. Oh my God, who would have thought that little Chichi that nobody was seeing any light in me would be the same person today. Who would have thought? And I promise you guys, I'm still going to work very hard and I'm still aiming for higher goals. I just want to say, your girl is thankful to you guys. I love you all. Bye. I miss you. I remember you.
Driver, Chichi.
I remember you, but I don't. Wait now, wait. We're not in a hurry, please.
It'll be a long time.
I remember you. Please, Big Slim is a big man. Don't leave him until you are established. Yeah.
Thank you, Chichi.
Come on, take. It's not so much again.
Thank you very much.
Give my girl, she's our social media manager.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm the team.
So when Chichi actually arrived to the exotic club, she walked in before she went on the reality show. She was gifted this beautiful bouquet of Naira notes and also roses.
For January, I give you my money.
Like you heard from Chichi, and you can see from her past pictures, Chichi was really at her lowest moment when she started working in an exotic club. So I hope some of you get inspired by Chichi's resilience and her story.
We are home. The queen is back. It was a total shutdown.
So tell me, what is your story, and do you think your life cannot change overnight if you are determined to? One thing I always advise people who are struggling is never ever consider crime. Don't ever consider crime. Hustle, do everything legal, legitimate you need to do to make money. Trust me, your life can change overnight, and I am not even kidding. So years ago, I used to work like as a caterer. I used to assist my auntie, one of my family friends, my uncle's wife actually. She was a caterer, so I would follow her then when they had jobs. I would follow, wash plates. I never did like the actual cooking, but I wash plates, do one or two things, and at the end of the day, she would just give me stipends, to use to hold body, as they would say. But then I wasn't satisfied. I knew I wanted more, but while I waited for more, I decided to use that. I was doing one or two things, and then I remember this guy that I used to work with also. The guy was very good at IT, but he didn't have computer. He was very good, naturally good at IT, but he didn't have computers. In fact, his parents had just moved to the village because they couldn't pay their rent, so his parents moved from Owerri to Mbisi, where they are from. So this guy worked for a moment just to buy his laptop. As when he got his laptop, he started applying for jobs online, and he kept pushing, and boom, he got a job. Before we knew what was happening, this guy became so comfortable. He built a house for his parents in the village, and I don't know, his sister that couldn't go to school, he sent her back to school. He started he said he had done online courses to brush up his skills and acquire more certifications. And then his sister also got married to this amazing guy who lives in Canada. And I remember running into her a few years after I had left Imo State, and she was already, at the time, she was about to get married to this guy who was based abroad, and she hadn't even graduated from school. So the guy was like, no problem, when you come abroad you can study. To be very honest, I was like, is it possible? But to be very honest, in less than 6 months she joined him. She is now a Canadian citizen. Her mom travels abroad for Mugo. Who would have thought that this family that barely 10 years ago were homeless, they got thrown out of their house, they had to relocate to the village, but now life has gotten a lot better. So I always tell people, in all you do not be involved in crime. I believe that there is time for everything. God has his purpose for us, and we need to always align ourselves with God's purpose for us, because the mistake most people make most times is we are always in a hurry to do things our own way. Sometimes we don't sit to say, but what are God's plans for us? A lot of people just want to do things the way they think is right. Okay, I want this now. You haven't paused to ask yourself, is this God's plan for me? Is this where I am destined to be? Because one thing about destiny is this: if, for example, you are destined to become rich through, let's say you studied, your passion is being a makeup artist, and you're destined to become rich through sewing. Maybe you actually know how to sew, but it's not something you're so invested in, my dear. You will not, no matter how you try, you keep rolling until you get to that, you start sewing. Let's take the popular Diary of a Kitchen Lover, for instance. Chef Tolani, you all know her, Diary of a Kitchen Lover. She started off as a makeup artist. She has also been a hairstylist at a point, but her major breakthrough came through cooking. And you know the funny thing about this, Chef T said she just had a page where she would post, her recipes, something she was doing for fun because she had a regular 9 to 5 job. And then one time somebody was like, how about you create a page for this purpose? We actually enjoy your recipes. And that was how it started. The same thing with Hilda Bassi. We know Hilda Bassi, the lady who won a Guinness World Record for the longest cooking marathon done by an individual. Hilda actually said her mom was, obviously she was raised by her mom, who trained her with the proceeds from her cooking business. Hilda said she never intended to toe her mom's lane. She actually wanted to be famous and never considered cooking as the path through which she would be famous. She said she had tried her hands. She had auditioned for Big Brother Nigeria reality show. She had tried applying to be she had auditioned to be a TV presenter. She had done some acting and all that, but all these things were not even being wonderfully fruitful. And she said she recalled her brother telling her, I feel like you're going to make money and you're going to become famous through cooking. And she was like, no, she's not. She didn't think she was going to do that. So during the lockdown in 2020, she had like a part-time job in a TV station where she was handling the breakfast segment of a show. And she had a part-time job, yes, at a TV station where she was handling the breakfast segment of a show. So she said she would always say to herself, oh my God, she said she wasn't just satisfied because she felt like she had tried her hand, and then at the point she was like, okay, maybe I'm going to go back to Abuja and stay with my mom. And then the lockdown happened. She was locked down in Lagos, and her brother was like, she said she was just posting phone videos, like she would post random videos, just for people to enjoy. The lockdown, people were doing a lot of creative things just to keep their minds busy. So she would post random recipes where she's cooking, and people were like, Hilda, can you teach us how to cook? She was like, teach? They were like, yes, we don't mind paying. If you need us to pay for your recipes, we will. And she said that was where her brother was like, okay, now let me create a flyer for you. Hilda said she told him to create a flyer, peg the prices at 35,000 naira, and he was like, who is going to pay 35,000 naira to you? You are not even popular. You barely have up to 20,000 followers on Instagram. So where is the money going to come from? And her brother slashed it. Her brother was like, 15,000 promo based on lockdown. And she said before she knew, she had like hundreds of people, and that was what battered the entire idea of My Food by Hilda. And of course, who does not know Hilda Bassi? Once you hear Hilda Bassi, the girl who cooked, the cookathon girl, the chef. And that is how Hilda now has a personal house. She has properties. She goes to schools to talk to students. She gets lots of gigs, cooking and non-cooking gigs, all from cooking, a passion she never thought she could really make something from. So what I would say is, generally, besides all this, we also need to listen to our friends, listen to our family members, because the truth is, sometimes it is people close to you that will tell you what you are good at. Sometimes you don't even realize that, you can do this. It's actually people around you that'll be like, why don't you try this? And so you'll be surprised that when you try it, it will actually work for you. So thank you so much for your time. Like I said, my parting word is this: understanding your time and season in life is very important, and not understanding it can lead to your delay or doom. When you pray to God, if you're a Christian, this of course is for Christians, just say this prayer: Father, open my eyes and understanding to align with your will, and I ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. So I will like to know if this vlog inspired you. I know this is not the ideal vlog, this is not what I usually vlog about, but I don't know, I guess I just got led in the spirit, kind of. So I hope you enjoyed listening, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section.